Welcome to you all on this very special day. I'm Jo Rosen, Executive Director of Development at Jewish Senior Life, and I want to thank you so much for joining us on our 30th anniversary. I'm verklempt a bit, you know, it's emotional to be here together after being on Zoom for 3 years, and I appreciate seeing you all so much. I want to introduce you to our MC. If everybody, I could have your attention. For 18 years, Al Muskovitz was known to Detroit radio audiences as Big Al Muscovito, sidekick, writer, impersonator, character voice talent, and producer for National Association of Broadcasting Hall of Fame radio personality Dick Burton, until Dick's retirement from 104.3 WOMC radio in 2010. During Al's on-air career, he was known for his interviews with world-renowned celebrities, sports figures, politicians, newsmakers, and we all enjoy reading Al's feature stories and humorous columns in the Detroit Jewish News. In his most recent and by far his greatest joy has been becoming a first-time grandpa to his beautiful Hannah. Let's all welcome Al Muskovitz to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you to the 5 people that clapped when they heard Dick Burton's name. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. This is great to be here. I'm kvelling, not so much over my granddaughter, but to see 7-layer cake on a table prior and have complete access to it. I'm speechless, I'll be honest with you. I'm also I became a grandfather to 3 more yesterday. This is an absolute truth. Thank you. Well, wait a minute. My wife called me up from my office, says, you've got to see this. So outside our den window, a deer had just given birth to 3 fawn. I'm not making it up. I sat mesmerized for at least an hour watching this whole process and so on and so forth, and the getting up and the legs, spindly legs moving. And then I started to think, and this is true, I have the video to prove it, I'll show it to you later. I started to think, you know, for 30 years, the deer have been eating my wife's gardens. And I'm thinking, maybe I should eat their family. It's too soon, I know, but the thought went through this mind of mine. But it is great to be here. I was thrilled to be part of the very first 8/80 30 years ago, where it was I emceed with Rick Rosenhaus, who was a big part of getting this started. And we were in the lobby it was held in the lobby of the Prentice Apartments in Oak Park. And I'll never forget it. They had the posters of each winner up. And I happened to be standing next to one of the posters of a beautiful lady. And the program hadn't started yet. And I turned around, she was standing right next to me before everything got started. And I said, look at you, Mazel Tov. And I'm not making up. She turned, she went, that's the picture they had to use? Mazel Tov. Anyway, it's great to be here. I love getting to Jewish organizational events for seniors because everybody's here about 3-4 hours early. So I'm parked way in the back, but that's okay. Anyway, real quick note to silence. Obviously, silence your cell phones. Try not to post immediately on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and for that matter, you know what, don't even go out and mail any mail for the next hour or so. Appreciate it. But this is great. We really want to have your attention because now the coronation begins. This is very exciting. It's going to be my pleasure to have you turn and watch at the entrance doors as I introduce your 2023 Jewish Senior Life 8/80 honorees, escorted by 8 students of the Frankel Jewish Academy. So here they come, and in order, Jim August. Yay! Escorted by Rebecca Rabin. Barbara Cohen, escorted by Elia Fradkin. Dennis Frank, escorted by Harry Shafsky. Roslyn Garber, escorted by Ryan Schmeltz. Dr. Richard Krugel, escorted by Tony Carson. Phyllis Lewkowicz, escorted by Rosie Aronoff. Janet Pont, escorted by Maddie Charnas. Wow. And of course, last but not least, Ellie Slovis, escorted by Cammie Katzen. We'll wait till they get a chance to go to their seats. I will tell you this year, for the first time in 30 years, we're running it a little differently. It's like American Idol. One of the 8 over 80 will be eliminated based on your applause. We'll save that for the end and announce it at the end, and then I'll announce your 7 over 80. Thought it would mix it up a little bit, get you more active. Right now, and this is really important, I want you to look up at the screens because you're about to get a really great presentation from a very special lady. So dim the lights and roll the video, please.
Well, hello, seniors. Well, hello, seniors. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. You're looking great. Seniors, I can't wait. Seniors, you're still growing. You're still growing. You're still going strong. Wow, look at you. 8 remarkable individuals, devoted, generous, kind, caring, so well-deserved. This is the beauty that lies within our honorees who are being celebrated today by Jewish Senior Life. Jewish Senior Life is a unique, exceptional agency located on 2 campuses, the A. Alfred Taubman Jewish Community Campus in Oak Park, and the Eugene and Marcia Applebaum Jewish Community Campus in West Bloomfield. They are recognizing you today and thanking you for your volunteer service, as I am thanking you. For without your volunteerism, our communal agencies would be very lonely places. Tikkun olam, you have made the world a better place. Oh, I loved my work. I loved the people I served. But now that I have the privilege of turning 80, I'm exploring a new career. I'm going to be the first sit-down, stand-up comedian to bring humor and laughter to all. 'Cause 80 is grady. Congratulations. Mazel tov. And I want you to continue to be the best me you can be.
I learned a rule in showbiz: never ever follow Carol Rosenberg. I learned that 30 years ago. That is fabulous. By the way, that wasn't Carol, that was artificial intelligence. Fantastic job by the technical crew here. Actually, Carol is currently in New Jersey at her grandson's bar mitzvah, or she would most definitely be here. But that was spectacular. I also bring greetings to you from Sherry Margolis, who I had the honor for 20 plus years emceeing this event. She unfortunately couldn't make it today, but she wants to send her love, and she has many, many cherished memories, as I do, over the last 30 years. So good morning to all of you who are here, I guess, watching our webcast all around the country. Wow. I am Al Muskovitz. I'm thrilled to join you today as Master of Ceremonies for the 30th anniversary 8 over 80, the community's premier fundraiser honoring older adults. This event is extremely special to me. I already told you about going way back to the Prentice days in the lobby, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and this is unbelievable today. From a lobby to this is spectacular, and there's been a lot of folks responsible for it along the way. Right now, it is my pleasure and honor to, this guy has a home field advantage. I'd like you to welcome Rabbi Aaron Starr of Congregation Shared Tzedek to the stage. Rabbi.
Thank you very much, El Chodesh Tov to everybody. On behalf of the officers, Board of Trustees, members, clergy, and staff of Congregation Shared Tzedek, welcome to our sacred home. What an honor and a joy and a blessing it is to be together. First, can we have a huge round of applause for Jewish Senior Life and especially its leadership and all of its volunteers? Thank you. Thank you for the holy work that you do day in and day out. Of course, I began with Chodesh Tov. We wish everyone a good month. This is the beginning of the Hebrew month of Sivan. We are almost at the holiday of Shavuot, and therefore we have entered Zman Matan Toratenu. This is the season of the giving of the Torah. And so today we celebrate 8. It's still 8, right, El? Not 7 yet? Well, till the end. Okay, so far the 8 over 80 honorees, and of course all of their family and friends, we honor them for the Torah that they have brought to our community year after year, decade after decade. We are holier because of these outstanding leaders. Our community is more sacred because of their volunteerism. We are clearer in our vision. We are wiser in our actions. We are more devoted to caring for those who are in need because of these 8 incredible people who sit among us, and certainly those who came before and those who are coming after as well. So it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to Congregation Shared Tzedek, and before I finish, I'll take a little rabbinic liberty. There are a few colleagues with us here today, so if you're a rabbi in the room, if you'll please stand up. And I know that we join together in offering all of our 8 over 80 honorees and indeed all of the incredible leaders among us the blessing of our people. So to each of you, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you always. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God's light shine upon you and be ever gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you know that because of your holy efforts each and every day, may you know that because of the Torah you have brought to the world, there is more peace among us. Yasher koach to each and every one of you. Thank you, welcome, and Chodesh Tov.
Beautiful, Rabbi, beautiful. I would like now to introduce Hazzan David Propis, who will sing the Star-Spangled Banner, and then FJA Students, Rosie Aronoff and Elia Fratkin will lead us in Hatikva. If you're able, if you could please rise. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of
Cantor will now throw out the first pitch. You have less than 30 seconds with the new rules. It is now my honor to bring up, as I had mentioned just a moment ago, Rosie Aronoff and Elia Fratkin, who will lead us in Hatikva. Both 80 years old. Look at them. Look at them. Good for you.
Kolot balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatem mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avta tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
Thank you for honoring this beautiful tradition. I'd like to introduce Frankel Jewish Academy rabbinic advisor, a man who bar mitzvahed my son 24 years ago, Rabbi Elliot Pachter. You've gotten taller.
I have had the honor, one of my many things I get to do at Frankel Jewish Academy is to participate in 8 over 80. And I'd also like to recognize our head of school, Rabbi Azaria Cohen is here as well. We have been partnering with 8 over 80, with JSL, now our bar mitzvah year. We're talking about your son's bar mitzvah. This is our 13th year that we have had 8 of our students connect to 8 honorees, which means that up until now, we have had 96 Frankel graduates participate, and this year it makes 104 of our alumni who will have participated directly with the JSL honoree. And we are very proud of our students, as well as gratitude to the honorees for all they have done to our community. In that sense of gratitude, in case you haven't already done so, please join me in saying our blessing of gratitude for bread as we say together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz.
Wait a minute. Is it your birthday today? It's his birthday. Happy 97th birthday. It's just got honored at the 9 over 95 or whatever it is now. I'm planning on being part of the 12 over 120, but not if I eat the 7-layer cake. Thank you, Rabbi Pachter. The Academy is thrilled to partner once more with Jewish Senior Life in this meaningful program. Our students are enriched from their experience with these special leaders, and they never, ever will forget the lessons they have learned from them. And we thank you for reciting the Hamotzi, Rabbi. So now it's my instructions, as it says in writing here, that you are allowed to eat very lightly, chew lightly, teeth in, teeth out, whatever you prefer, but just keep it down a little bit, because we're going to continue the program while you eat so that we can move things along. So I'd like to now invite the dedicated 8 over 80 co-chairs, both long-time board members and devoted JSL supporters, Arlene Selleck and Neil Satofsky, to the stage.
Good morning. Welcome to the 30th annual anniversary of 8/80, a fundraiser honoring 8 extraordinary members of our community. We celebrate the 8 remarkable men and women who have made and are continuing to make a difference in our community and in the world. We are proud to be in the company of each and every one of you. This is a very special feel-good event. A particularly unique aspect of 8/80 is the partnership of each honoree with the Frankel Jewish Academy students. The students met and interviewed their honorees at the luncheon held at the JSL's Mir Apartments. They wrote the honoree bios that you will find in the ad journals at the table. Now I'd like to introduce my co-chair and friend, Neil Satoski.
Thanks, Eileen. So over the years, we have learned that 8/80 is the most meaningful experience for both the honoree and the Frankel Academy student, sometimes leading to lifelong friendships. It's another example of the importance of Lador Vador, the generation to generation, at Jewish senior life. Now at this time, we would like to acknowledge the members of the 8/80 committee, whose names you see on the screen. Yep, they're there. Would the committee members please stand and remain standing? All right. We also want to recognize all of JSL's staff who work tirelessly, generously, and most dedicated to provide the best quality of life for our residents. Please stand and remain standing. All the JSL staff. Where are you? Come on, there's a ton of you here. All JSL staff. We want to recognize all the board of directors and committee members. Please stand and remain standing. And finally, I would ask everyone else in the room to please stand. This is Jewish community living in the words from the Torah, V'adarta Panei Zakein, in honor of our elders. So you're not all standing. This is like the high holidays, up and down, up and down. Everyone here has in some way helped make Jewish Senior Life one of the finest senior life organizations in the United States. Thanks for your wonderful support for making JSL a place that seniors can proudly call their home. Everyone have a healthy year, and with Shavuos coming next week, may we all fill our stomachs full of delicious blintzes.
Let's hear it for Neil and Arlene one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, Arlene and Neil, for the many years of your volunteer work on behalf of JSL and 8/80. We are extremely grateful for everything you've done and your support and leadership. And thank you to the maintaining of that inspiration for all these years. I have a few quick updates for you before we move on. I just wanted you to know that all of our 8/80 honorees passed the mandatory drug testing. 4 are on Lipitor, which is now legal. We had to disqualify one nominee this year. It was very tough. A Rabbi George Santos, 87 years old. He filled it out. He said George Santostein. But thankfully, the vetting process is very strong here. And we caught him when he claimed to have helped write the 10 Commandments. So, and one other final thing. After the show, if the awardees can see me, I have some reverse mortgages I'd like to talk to you about, but that's on a personal level. Now, a special thank you to our generous sponsors. How do you do something like this without generous sponsors? Your generosity has made it possible to acknowledge the honorees with Jewish Senior Life's highest award provided to the older adults in their community, the Tikkun Olam Awards. Special thank you to your visionary sponsor, our visionary sponsor, the Ravitz Foundation, whose generous gift provides life-sustaining support for the Kosher Meals Program. The sponsors and donors are listed in the ad journals on your tables. It's a real keepsake. Thanks to everyone who placed an advertisement in this commemorative book. The digital version of this, with even more ads, will be found on the JSL website, appearing for an entire year for everyone to enjoy. So thank you to the Frankel Jewish Academy staff, to the teachers and parents for their partnership in this incredibly special program. It's a joy to bring together 8 of the Academy's 11th grade students with the esteemed honorees, L'Ador V'Ador, an incredible representation of from generation to generation. I would like to now introduce to you Stephen Ingber, CEO of the Jewish Federation, who joined Federation, did I hear a clap? Who joined the Federation in 2016 as a Chief Operating Officer, and in May 2021, during COVID, was named Chief Executive Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Ingber.
Good afternoon. As our young man here told me, I'm Steve Ingber, so I will continue to read the part that says Steve, read here. I'm Steve Ingber, CEO of the Jewish Federation Metropolitan Detroit. It's a pleasure to join you here today to celebrate these 8 remarkable individuals. This is the 30th year that Jewish Senior Life has recognized 8 people over 80 with the Tikkun Olam Award. The honorees here today exemplify what it means to truly repair the world. With their lifelong commitment to improving our community and making a difference in the world, they join a distinguished list of awardees who prove that age is just a number. Jewish Senior Life leads the charge in keeping our older adults active and vital. Within 6 beautiful residents in 2 dynamic communities, our seniors find support, friendship, activities, and more that keep the mind, body, and spirit young at heart. And with the 8 over 80 and Bessie Spector Oldest Jewish American celebration, they throw some of the best parties of the year as well. The residents and friends of Jewish Senior Life truly know how to have a good time. They're also the first to rise to the occasion to keep the Jewish community strong and vibrant here in Detroit, Israel, and around the world. Whether it's a contribution to the annual campaign or stepping up when a sudden need appears, our older adults are the backbone of this community and inspirations to all the generations that follow. That is why Federation works hand in hand with Jewish Senior Life to ensure the needs of older adults are not just met, but exceeded. To the leadership of JSL, my friend CEO Nancy Heinrich, President Mark Kowalsky, who's also my friend, I should have put that in there earlier, I apologize, and the entire JSL staff, volunteers, and board, I thank you for all you do to enhance the lives of our senior population. And a special recognition today, this year, also goes out to this year's Berman Award winner. The Berman Award winner goes to our community's most outstanding professional, and Tracy Prokovnik was that who exemplified it this year. Yasher Koach to Neil Satovsky and Arlene Selleck, co-chairs of today's event, and all those who work to make this afternoon beautiful and special for our honorees. And to those of us joining us here today to help celebrate these 8 special individuals, thank you. The funds raised through this event help enrich the lives of our seniors throughout our JSL communities. I would leave you so you can go back to eating. Finally, mazel tov to this year's honorees of this year's 8 over 80. Jim August, Barbara Cohen, Dennis Frank, Roslyn Garber, Dr. Richard Krugel, Phyllis Lewkowicz, Janet Pont, and Ellie Slovis. Thank you for your lifetime of work towards a better community and a world. And I want to do a special shout out, although it's not here, real quick to Janet Pont for allowing me to graduate the religious school here many years ago. And thank you for taking a chance on me, and now look where we are, right here. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Steve, for all the great work you do on behalf of our Jewish community. 8 over 80 is the largest fundraiser for Jewish Senior Life. Donations provide critical support to the older adults JSL serves, including funding for the Kosher Meals Program. And speaking of kosher meals, we hope you are enjoying your lunch Thank you to Quality Kosher Catering for feeding us today. Nice portions. Nice portions. We look forward to each of you staying throughout the conclusion of the program when the honorees will be assembled together. It is a sight to see with their Frankel Jewish Academy students on stage for a very special presentation. But now let's have a little bit of fun for just a few moments and watch another video featuring the residents, volunteers, and staff behind the scenes of Jewish senior life with social media reporter, Ned Spector.
We are behind the scenes here at JSL today, seeing the programs, the activities, the community, the full lives that these amazing residents live. We're seeing Yiddish and exercise, creative writing, current events, bingo too. So come along for the ride as we see all the amazing things going on here at JSL. Let's go! Gertie, tell me what's about to happen here.
We are going to exercise.
I am legitimately getting a workout and sweating. This is unbelievable. Coming out of exercise, I love the movement, I love the vibe, I love all of these activities. There's a spirit here. You've exercised, you're drinking your water. This is vitality.
Absolutely, I feel like a newborn infant.
Is the official name, is this the knitting club?
There's 2 needles.
Okay.
See, you take the needle on this side.
Like 2 needles.
Okay.
Okay, we go in here and take it off.
Look at that.
Yeah.
One stitch. Any person that loves spaghetti I have to talk to?
Oh, God. When I die, I'm coming back Italian.
Amen. Well, you got a lot of road ahead of you. You have great energy. What's your name?
My name's Dolly.
Dolly, what is your favorite part about living here?
This community of these people, they made me feel at home. The people are nice, they're friendly. The staff here is the best. What I loved about it, what shocked me, is the first person I remember meeting was Josh, and he knew my name. I never met him before. Do you know that makes you feel like you're a person and not a rent check and not some jerk? You know, it was wonderful.
I got to give you a hug.
Oh, God. I love that.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Charlene, tell us what's happening here today.
Okay, so we have what's called the Program for Holocaust Survivors and Families. What we do every month, we have entertainment, we have refreshments. We want survivors to come together for socialization. We try to help survivors know that they are not alone, that we care about them, we love them, we do all kinds of wonderful programs for them. There's a woman here who's 100 years old. She comes every month if she can.
Amazing. Is she here today?
She is.
What is your name?
Edith Kozlovsky.
Edith. And tell me, what is your favorite part about being part of Cafe Europa?
L-O-V-E.
I love it. I love it. What's your secret to your vitality?
Sugar.
That's what my grandma would tell me, but that's a good thing maybe. And tell us what's happening here today.
This is our weekly creative writing group, a group of residents who enjoy reading and writing. And together we've explored a variety of kinds of writing.
What's your favorite part about teaching creative writing here?
It's interesting hearing people's stories and how they take a topic and adapt it to their own interests and lives.
Amazing. And tell us, what do you do here with this wonderful class?
I come here every day and hope I can bring the world to my people here. They are interested in what's going on in the world, and we vent.
I love it. All right, everybody's favorite. You know, we had to come to bingo. Let's go.
64.
Oh, 64. You can I got you right there. What's your favorite part about living here at JSF?
I think everything. There's nothing that isn't good. I really feel like I'm on a cruise.
I love it. I want to be on the cruise with you.
60.
62.
Bingo!
Bingo! We got a bingo! We got a bingo! We got a bingo! Yes! Wow, we covered so much ground. We were singing and dancing and exercising, current events, knitting. I genuinely love it here. I feel something special here, truly.
I love that you came. You were one of the residents and they all appreciated you so much. You know, people live with purpose here, and that's what you saw today. From morning till night, there are things to do. And we say, live with purpose, live with joy, live with us.
I love it. Thank you. Beautiful.
Man, let's hear it for Ned Spector. That was fantastic. And for everybody who participated. I love it. I got a chance to watch a preview of that last night, and I just think it's spectacular. But in all fairness now, we will have a couple of minutes for rebuttal. Will the residents who wanted, you get 2 minutes with 30-second follow-up questions. Maybe we'll cut that out. Edith Kozlowski, 100 years old. I had breakfast with her son, Dr. Jay Kozlowski, yesterday morning. And just a point of interest, if you want to go out for a really good breakfast, don't go out with a cardiologist. It is now my pleasure to introduce someone who I've known for years. He's a friend, and he's an amazing participant in JSL for so many years. Mark Kowalsky, President of the Board of Directors.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to look out and see the number of supporters that we have in our community and our very deserving honorees. I am privileged to serve as the president of the JSL Board of Directors to assist our agency in fulfilling its mission and its commitment to our community. A mission to nurture a sense of community that is critical to enrich the lives of older adults while embracing Jewish values and celebrating life. This is the 30th anniversary of 8 over 80, our signature fundraiser. 232 remarkable men and women over the age of 80 have been honored with the Tikkun Olam Award since 1994, and each and every one of them has left an indelible mark on our community. Our honored recipients today are often the quiet leaders, the people who make a difference without a lot of fanfare or public acknowledgement. No matter what our age, we learn from each other and gain new perspectives. Door of a door, from generation to generation. I would like to thank all of our JSL leadership, particularly Nancy Siegel Heinrich, for her dedication as CEO, and I ask Nancy to join me on the stage.
Thank you, Mark. From generation to generation, it was my connection to my grandparents that inspired me to serve older adults in our community. The wisdom and life lessons they shared with me made me who I am. I'm so grateful to be able to connect with our residents and program participants who continue the legacy of my grandparents and parents and inspire and teach me every day. At Jewish Senior Life, we have 3 beautiful communities that serve older adults on each of our 2 campuses in Oak Park and West Bloomfield. We have options like assisted living and memory care and independent living communities, 3 of which are affordable or subsidized. These residences are more than a place to live. These are true communities where residents build friendships and renew old ones, where they pursue lifelong passions and find new ones. But we're also more. Together with Gesher Human Services, we serve those living with dementia and their family care partners, at the Dorothy and Peter Brown Jewish Community Adult Day Program. And as you saw in the video, we serve Holocaust survivors by providing social opportunities monthly at our Cafe Europa concerts and also in support groups as part of the whole program for Holocaust survivors and their families. Whatever our residents and program participants are doing, their lives are endlessly enriched by our Friends of JSL volunteers who host activities and work in our dining rooms, cafes, and boutiques. There's so much happening at JSL every single day, as you saw in the video. But as important as it is to communicate to you what we do at JSL and how we do it, what I'd really like to leave with you all today is why we do what we do. JSL's purpose is to serve our community. We're here for all of you. If you need support, if you need to talk through options that are available for you or a parent or another loved one, we're here to help. We're here to serve you, whether it's a time of crisis or a time of joy. Call us anytime. Today, thank God, is a time of joy, of celebration. In the ad journals at your tables, you'll find a page celebrating all of our honorees over the last 30 years. Today, we're thrilled to host many of them, and I'd like to name those that are here today and ask them to stand as their names are called. And audience, please hold your applause until the end. There are many. David Broner, Chuck Domstein, Marvin Fleischman, Margot Gardner, Barbara Goodman, Carolyn Greenberg, Doreen Hermelin, Ellen Labus, Sissy Lapidus, Cy Linovitz, Phoebe and Harris Mainster, Jerry Margolis, Janet Moses, Earl Reamer, Joyce Sherman, Jerry Sobel, Lou Savarinsky, George Stern, Kathleen Strauss, and Warren Tesler. If I've missed anyone, my apologies. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Door to door, from generation to generation, Jewish Senior Life stands as our community's central resource for services for older adults. 116 years ago, some wise community leaders made a promise. Yes, a promise to care for our mothers, fathers, parents, grandparents, other relatives, and take care of all of them as they age. Fortunately, I have seen how important this agency has been to my grandparents and also to several great-grandparents. We take that promise very seriously and plan to do everything we can do to continue to serve this population and remain a Jewish home for older adults.
As Jews, it's our responsibility, our tradition, and truly our privilege. Thank you so much for supporting Jewish Senior Life. When you support JSL, you support the entire community. We are here for you.
Thank you to our incredible CEO and brilliant board president, Mark Kowalsky, Nancy Siegel-Heinrich. I'd like to thank some other wonderful people who make my work appear effortless. The JSL West Wing staff. Thank you to my phenomenal team, Beth Tryon, Nicole Lupaloff, and Beth Robinson, for all you do for our agency, and for your incredible support in planning and executing great JSL events and celebrations, like this one. Thank you to all the JSL staff. Many have served at JSL over 20 years, some over 25 years, and this longevity makes our staff and our agency the best it can be. Thank you to our vendors, and today the people who helped to make our event so wonderful, the staff and congregation of Sheretz Tzedek, Quality Kosher Catering, Star Tracks, graphic designer Lori Bloom, Future Reproductions printers, Signs by Tomorrow, who made those glorious cutouts, Brett Mountain, photographer, Bruce Bolton, floral design, Ned Spector, social media reporter, and videographer Scott Wasserman. We love working with you. So as you heard, the Jewish Senior Life cruise ship serves 1,000 older adults in its inclusive residential communities and many hundreds more who live outside of our residences through many outreach programs and services we provide. JSL provides a Jewish home for older adults, communities infused with Jewish values and culture, open, welcoming to people of all faiths, diverse backgrounds and beliefs. The JSL stories keep on being told. You probably read about us in our weekly column or on our Facebook and in the Jewish news, or have heard about us from your family and friends who live here. The stories. These are feel-good stories. Talk to Melissa Martin, our administrator at Heckman, who finds meaning in her work, as she shared the story with me about Phyllis Lewkowicz, one of our 8 honorees today. When Phyllis isn't baking mandel bread for the residents and staff, she serves as treasurer of the Heckman Resident Council. Several of our independent Heckman residents have joined us today in support of Phyllis because they're all friends now. You can find them together chatting, schmoozing daily in the second floor Eli A. Scher Coffee House. They play games, they share news, and they enjoy coffee or tea, usually accompanied by Phyllis's pastries. And as a result of this amenity, we are creating coffee spots in each building. These gathering places are so important to the residents who delight in being together with old and new friends in our village we call JSL. Thank you, Eli Scher, for your incredible support, and here's to caffeine and decaf. Now, maybe you could also ask Marcia Middleman, administrator at Mir, what the residents do over there. Well, they socialize, and they look out for one another, and they participate fully in volunteer programs, and they give back to our community, often documenting their thoughts during creative writing classes with Sherry Cohen, or while participating in painting and beading classes funded by community donors. At our 2 assisted living buildings, Fleischman Residence and Colville Apartments, you'll find many older adults actively enjoying stimulating programs. In West Bloomfield, our famous centenarian, Rachel Fox, 108 years old, enjoys 3 meals daily, musical entertainment, art class, chair exercise, and flower arranging, then baking challah. And that's just on a Thursday. People keep busy. In Oak Park, everyone looks forward to the annual Senior Dream Cruise, and you can always find music and dancing in the dining room at Prentice after social gatherings in the lobby near the bird sanctuary. We love to see the Russian-speaking residents at Tidal use their abundant gardening skills as smiling and singing as they plant and they weed and they harvest vegetables for the kitchen. It's a community where everyone cares for one another. They are here for each other, and we are here for them. And thanks to you, the community volunteers who come to visit the residents in our buildings, take shifts in our boutiques, bistro, cafes, you create more moments of connection for the residents, friends, and families who visit. You are so appreciated. Half of the people who live in our communities are low income and require subsidies. So we're grateful to our Detroit community who assist us in providing life-sustaining and life-affirming resources, tzedakah, for all the residents at JSL. We hope everyone enjoyed their delicious meal, and it's now time to get to know our 8 extraordinary honorees. We're going to view a special film about each of them. Please stay seated until the end of our program in order to give each of our honorees and students the respect and acknowledgement they deserve. And then please hold your applause until the end. Dim the lights.
I'm Jim August. I'm 87, born in 1935. I have lived here virtually all my life. I went to Sunday school, and one Sunday, I got expelled. I hit the teacher square in the forehead with a spitball. The teacher did not see the humor in it. That was the end of my Jewish education. And I went to public schools in Royal Oak, and then I went to Cranbrook in the 8th grade. I wrote for the paper, and I wrote for the yearbook, and I also was the business manager. I had a mentor there, and he said, you should go into advertising. You're good at business, and you're very creative. And that was the beginning of my going into advertising. I met Doris at Northwestern University. She was with a fraternity brother of mine, and I said, she's much too cute to be with him. And I called her, and eventually we were married. We have 3 sons. We have 6 grandchildren, 5 girls and a boy. My parents were very active in the community. My mother was president of Women's Division. My father was involved in the development of Sinai Hospital. There was this idea that you sort of were responsible for using your time, your talent, and your treasure for things beyond yourself. And I think I've tried to do that, and I've tried to make kids understand that that's what we do. You can't be just about yourself. I had an opportunity to get into the budgeting process at Federation, and eventually became a vice president of Federation. And then while I was doing that, I was president of the Michigan Jewish Conference. I was involved in ORT. And then a man named Mike Zeltzer dragooned me into doing something called the National Foundation for Jewish Culture. For a number of years, I was eventually president and then chairman of it. It's a way to become involved, an easy touchstone, which can lead to other things. Besides being fun, I always thought that what we did was significant. Be willing to take risks, and don't look for the safe answer. Look for the answer with the biggest opportunity. Look for the answer that makes you feel good. You're not going to make the most of your talent if you aren't willing to take risks.
My name is Barbara Cohen. I am 81 years young, and I'm very grateful to be here. I was born in Bukachovce, that is now part of the Ukraine. I certainly wasn't born in the best of times. I was born in 1941 in the middle of the war. But my father had some help to get false papers, and we were able to escape the ghetto. I feel that I beat the odds because so many children during the Holocaust never made it. And I think that's why also I like to volunteer to give back. I have volunteered for Jewish Family Service visiting Holocaust survivors to this day for 15 years. Also, I go to conferences all over the world of Holocaust survivors. But the most fascinating one was we were invited by Germany to come and have our conference there. That was quite amazing. My greatest influence were my parents. They went through many, many hardships during the war and when they came to this country, but they worked very hard in the United States, made a life for themselves. They are my examples, and that's what I tell my children and my grandchildren. I can't say enough about my children. They've always supported me. They've been my rock. And of course, my grandchildren are the joys of my life. I never really considered myself a survivor because I have no memory. The reason why I finally decided that I was a Holocaust survivor was because I didn't have a childhood like my grandchildren. But I'm grateful that they have family and love, and I get the love that I didn't have through my family. I hope to accomplish more volunteering as much as I can because it gives me joy and the things that I'm passionate about. Maybe playing tennis a few more years, please God, and just enjoying time with my children and my grandchildren. Nothing could be finer.
My name is Dennis Frank. I was born on January 1st, 1941, so I'm 82 years old. I was confirmed at Temple Beth El after being consecrated there, and I was president in the mid-60s. Peggy and I knew each other because our parents were friendly. I would ask Peggy if she wanted to go to Temple for services on Friday night, and it developed into something a little more serious than that. We were married in 1965, so we'll celebrate our 58th anniversary this year. Family is extremely important to me, as you can see from all the pictures in my office. We're so pleased to see our two grandsons and granddaughter in school sports, in tennis, and in school plays. My mantra in my accounting practice is either 60-40 or 40-60, accounting and psychology or psychology and accounting. Having served clients for all these many years, I'm now serving the fourth generation of some of the client families that I've been involved with since the early 60s. Outside of work, I'm very involved in non-for-profit organizations. I have served as president of Temple Beth El, Oakland Family Services, Metropolitan Federation of Reformed Synagogues, and treasurer of the JCC. The thing that I like most about my volunteer work is the opportunities to have direct contact with people. I always think about Barbra Streisand and Funny Girl, how people who love people are the happiest people in the world, and it's just so important to establish relationships with people, with young people, with older people. I find that it's all about people.
My name is Roslyn Garber. I was born in 1940. I'm 83 years old. I grew up in Detroit on the west side. I went to Edward Everett Elementary and Cody High School. I was the only Jewish child. It was right near Herman Gardens housing project. A lot of the kids from the project were in our classes. But I had a teacher, Elsie Schlussel, who believed girls were just as smart as boys, and she let us know it. My mother was a great influence on my life because she was orphaned very young, but she knew that education was the only way for us. And I dropped out of school in Wayne. She marched me back to Wayne after I dropped my classes, and she said, "You are going to Wayne and you are going to graduate," which I did. I got a bachelor's in education, and then a master's and another master's. Whatever was free, I took advantage of. I taught for 2 years until I got pregnant with my oldest. So I was a stay-at-home mom for 16 years, and then my husband got sick, let him rest in peace, Arnold Katz, and I got a job teaching in Detroit. I love to travel, just to see the world. I started out going to China by myself, and I thought, oh, I can do this. And so then I went to India, then I went to Africa, and then I went to Morocco and Israel many times with my second husband. He taught English through B'nai B'rith. It sounded very interesting to me. And so the three of us, my friend Sheila and Max and I, went to Israel, and we did it for 10 years. And we got to go to a secular high school in Netanya. That was my passion. If you ever get a chance to do it, run. As a volunteer, I would volunteer for the Kiddush at B'nai Moshe, and then on Sunday I volunteer at Yad Ezra. And we fulfill the orders for the clients who are of need. I love to be with my friends, and we play Maj, and I love to play bridge, even though I'm terrible at it. My Jewish values and family is very important to me. I had 3 children. I have 3 grandchildren. I tell my kids there's no amount of money, there's nothing in the world that should come between you. And they love each other, and they do surprising things to me, but I'm not really surprised because they care about each other. And I do say to my grandchildren, when a door closes, another one opens.
My name is Richard Krugel, and I am 80 years old. I was born in Detroit, and I grew up in Detroit. My parents were very good influence on me, to care about people, to be generous where it does good. And my parents were very helpful in making sure we got our educations, and both of us graduated medical school, my brother and I. And Sally was at the University of Michigan, and there was a friend of hers who knew me. Somehow we got set up for a lunch, and the rest is history. After that, I went into the Air Force. I enjoyed very much being in the military. I felt it was a very important time in my life. Sally and I did a lot of traveling. We got involved with the Federation in leading trips to Israel with people in our community, and we continue to do that. We have 3 sons with wonderful daughter-in-laws. We have 6 wonderful grandchildren. Last Father's Day, all of the boys and girls, husbands and wives, and all the kids were at our home for breakfast. And it was the best for me. I loved it, and I hope it happens again. I just try to think of what's been wonderful for me in getting to where I am. One year they chose me to receive the Butzel Award because of the activities that I was doing in the Federation. I was the president of the Fresh Air Society for several years. I was the president of the JCRC. I was very much involved in putting that together. I feel that I have been very fortunate. I have made a good living. I have done my share to share that good living with the community for a number of years, and that I hope I've passed that on to my sons, and I think I have.
My name is Phyllis Lewkowicz, and I'm 88 years old. I was born in Detroit, and I lived in Detroit until I was married. From there, I went to Livonia for 58 years, and then here at Heckman for the past 7 years. There were 3 people in my life who really made me who I am. My grandmother, my father's mother, was a kind, warm, loving person. She cooked all the time and baked all the time and showed me how to do all these things. She really impressed me. My mother, who I didn't realize was strong until I was much older. She lived through being an orphan, and she lived through a divorce with no skills. And I realized how strong she had to be to have raised us. And then, of course, my husband, because he overcame hell. He was a Holocaust survivor, and he just was the kindest and warmest man I ever met. Should never have gone so soon. I'm passionate about life, about doing things for people, about my family and my children, my grandchildren. I just want to have people around me and make them happy by feeding them. When I lived in Livonia, I was very active in the Livonia Jewish congregation. I was their president for a short time. I was the president of our sisterhood, and being president of all those places, I had to know a lot about being Jewish and how to perform, and of course how to cook. And I enjoy doing all those things. Since I'm here, I've been elected voluntarily as the treasurer of the Heckman Resident Council. I developed a flower fund so that we could have flowers on Shabbos at our dinner table. I developed the tributes that people send out for memorials, for birthdays, for anything you want to name, I can make that. So I have supported the Heckman Resident Council with the money coming from the cards. I have a disability. I have macular degeneration. I don't see very good. My doctor always tells me I'll never go blind, I just won't see. And I had a virus that caused a hearing problem. I can overcome all those things. I can't make myself see and I can't make myself hear, but I can make my life so much easier by thinking about what to do to make it easier. I created things that I use to help me find my groceries, to help me find my plates. I'm so organized, it's unbelievable. The day you're born, you're given a day to die. You're given a brain in between, and by God, you better use it.
My name is Janet Pont. I am fortunate to be 84 years old, and I have lived in the Detroit area all my life. I didn't have a formal Jewish education until I was 14 and a half. I went 6 days a week, and it just imbued me with this love of Judaism. I went to college at Wayne State University. I got a Bachelor of Arts with a degree in French, and that led to a master's degree in preschool and parent education. I worked at Congregation Shaarei Tzedek for 65 years. During that time, I also was the director of the preschool at Adat Shalom for 6 years. I've been involved in many Jewish organizations, National Council of Jewish Women, Hadassah, Jewish Hospice and Chaplaincy Network, which is now one of my favorite ways to do volunteer work, Jewish Senior Life. They were there for my family when I needed them, and boy, it's my honor to be able to give back. My family is really very, very special. My parents were so loving to each other, and that was what I grew up in. Seeing people love each other and care for each other. I have 6 grandchildren and 3 wonderful children that married incredible in-laws. I mean, God has blessed us more than I can possibly say. None of this would be possible without the love of my incredible husband, Herb. We will be celebrating our 64th wedding anniversary this August. My motto is, say little, do much, and greet everyone with a cheerful face. I hope that you will remember that I brought a smile to everybody's face whenever I could, that I tried to show that there is good in this world, and each one of us has the ability to add to that good and to that joy. That's what I would like people to remember about me.
My name's Ellie Slovis, and I'm 81. I was born in New York City, raised in New York City. Being Jewish was a really big part of our life. My family was very active, so that means not just my mother and father, but aunts and uncles and cousins. Family was very important. I went to Hobart and William Smith in Geneva, New York, majored in psychology, met Tom my second year. After marriage, we ended up in Detroit. As we came here, I was a part-time social worker. Then I was volunteering at Cranbrook at the Science Institute. I love my volunteer work, that I did, and then I was home for the kids because it didn't interfere. My best time ever was being mom. I did Federation a little bit because I got involved with Shalom Detroit. It was a wonderful thing to welcome Jewish people into the community. But NCJW, National Council of Jewish Women, has been the most lasting and the place that I fit in so well. You work on a project because you see that there's a need for children or a need for women, and it's all about making this world a better place. My greatest influence is always my mom. She was able to teach us all to bring the magic into life. I've carried that with my kids too and tried to bring in the magic in life. And then at the same time, she would say, gotta be strong. Hazak, hazak. I remember her saying that often. I think the toughest thing I have went through is five years ago when I lost Tom. The concept of going solo was quite difficult, but instead of looking at what we don't have, we can look at all that we have. I'm very blessed. I've got this wonderful family of children and grandchildren. Tom and I would call them our blessings. So I am one lucky lady.
Say little, do much, and greet everyone with a cheerful face.
Try to do different things so that you develop your mind.
There's such a quality when you cement relationships with your family and friends.
Oh, take your finger off the computer and the cell phone and start living your life.
It's important to support Judaism and support the Jewish community.
I give no advice, even to my grandchildren, but I do say to my grandchildren, when a door closes, another one opens.
Be willing to take risks and don't look for the safe answer.
Stand strong and say what the problem is. Speak out and let your voice be heard.
Wow, what an amazing group of people. I'd now like to call the students to escort the honorees to the 8 chairs in front of the stage. I noticed while I was standing that one of our honorees sneaked out for a moment, so we'll just kind of talk amongst ourselves while we get organized, and I'll give you the high sign when we're ready to go. But please come on up, students and honorees.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting to get settled here, let's hear it for a gentleman that's hiding behind 2 computers back there, Scott Wasserman. Scott, stand up. He produced those videos. Weren't they spectacular? Well done. Well done, Scott. Absolutely beautiful.
I'm so proud to know these people. These students are incredible. And now the students, as soon as we get Phyllis seated over here at the stage, they are going to share some personal thoughts about their experience of getting to know the honorees. And whoever has the mic first will just speak and then pass it to the next person. And at the end, we'll give everybody a round of applause again.
I'm Cammie Katzen. Yeah, I'll start again. Last month, I had the privilege of spending the afternoon and taking a walk with Ellie. It was so special. I not only admire all she has done for our community, but I admire her strength and perseverance when things go wrong in life. It's an honor to have gotten to know you, Ellie.
Hi, I'm Harry Shevsky. L'adore vador is the essence of Dennis Frank. I admire Mr. Frank's devotion to his parents' values, especially being active in synagogue, as he served as president of Temple Bethel. Mr. Frank has also used his accounting expertise to volunteer as treasurer of numerous organizations of importance to his family. Thank you to JSL and all those involved for this wonderful opportunity to learn life lessons from Mr. Frank and all of today's honorees.
My name is Ryan Schmeltz. I've had the privilege of getting to know and learn valuable lessons from Roslyn Garber. Through her love and dedication to Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, I was particularly amused at Roz's devotion to help Ethiopian children to Israel that were new immigrants learn Hebrew, English, and other everyday activities while their parents worked to assimilate into Israel.
Hi guys, my name's Elliot Fradkin, and that's Fradkin, not Franklin. My honoree is Barbara Cohen. As you guys know, she's a Holocaust survivor, but a very unique kind of Holocaust survivor. She's a young Holocaust survivor, and being a young Holocaust survivor, even though she doesn't remember her own story, she has the courage and curiosity to go back and learn it from her parents, and in order to share the story with other people. And that's what I learned from her, from being with her and from talking with her and meeting her a few months ago, that to have the courage and go back to relive your past trauma, to retell the story to other people and retell that experience is how you can overcome this trauma. And that was really in a really meaningful message that I learned from her.
I'm Maddie Charnas, and what I admire most about Janet Pont is her positive outlook on life and how deeply she cares for everyone around her. I feel so grateful to have had the opportunity to get to know her lately and really experience how much she has positively influenced the Jewish community.
I'm Rebecca Rabin, and over the past couple months, I'm really grateful to have gotten to know Jim August, and the most important thing that I learned is not only the value of helping out the community, but also the importance of enjoying and loving doing so, and I'm really grateful to have been able to get to know you.
Good morning, I'm Tony Carson. It is a pleasure and honor to be here today. I really enjoy getting to know Dr. Krugel, and I'm so moved by his love of family. He is such an important and respected doctor, and yet when I asked what the most important thing in his life was, he responded that it was his family. I have so much respect for him, and I hope to follow the footsteps of each of one of our recipients.
Hi everyone, my name is Rosie Aronov. I was singing earlier. And I just wanted to say how absolutely remarkable Phyllis is. Getting to know her was a really invaluable experience that I didn't realize that I would have until I was actually sitting down and speaking with her. Very seldom do you meet someone who's, well, not only a great cook, but also loves other people so selflessly that it really touches you in your heart. Her devotion to her family, her children and her grandchildren, that was really all she wanted to talk about and what I was really keen on listening to. So I'm really happy to have finally met a few of them, and you mean the world to her. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so proud of all of you. Thank you, dear students, for your collaboration in our 30th anniversary celebration. It seems you've made true friends along the way, and thank you to the honorees for sharing your incredible life stories with us. So I want to also thank so much our co-chairs and our committee members. Let's take some time to thank our incredible, delightful, humorous, hysterical, adorable Master of Ceremonies, Al Muskovitz. We heard today is your daughter's birthday. Come on over here. We really appreciate your spending a portion of your day with us. But Al, we have something special for you. But since it's your daughter's birthday, if you want to,
good.
You could also give it to her. I'll just leave it here.
All right, that's fine. You want me to close out now?
Please.
All right. You know what? Since I was part of the first one 30 years ago, one of the best things, if not the best thing, was getting these kids involved with these folks. It's so spectacular to see, and your words are so moving and so wonderful. Make a mental note, in 2035, I will be 80. In advance, I accept this award on behalf of my family. My name's Alan Muskovitz. I was born in 1955. No. Anyway, I know you kids have exams coming up tomorrow. Got your artificial intelligence in order. And also, I just wanted one other quick reminder before we say goodbye that next weekend, I'm very active with our Jewish war veterans. Memorial Day's coming up, and I know there's probably some veterans in here, so remember our veterans next weekend, if you can pause and think of our veterans of blessed memory. So ladies and gentlemen, again, our community's 20, 23, 8 over 80 honorees. I know everybody feels great. Get out your cameras. This is a moment to remember. You can come up and take pictures. Thank you for this warm and an inspirational evening. Every time I've been here for this event, you walk out so much better having heard this and experienced. So good luck. See you next year, and God bless everybody, and congratulations again.